Well, aloha team, it's your favorite lender again, Jason C. Scott, combat retired U.S. Army veteran, top 1% mortgage loan originator, and today's question is, Jay, how do loan originators get paid? You know what, that is a great question. I love actually explaining that to folks because believe it or not, most lenders don't want to tell you. You definitely want to tune in for this. So let's talk about how originators get paid. I guess it really just depends on what type of lender you're dealing with. Because remember, there's three types of lenders. There are retail lenders, which those are typically like your banks, right? Wherever you have your checking and savings account, that would be considered a retail lender. And they have the money, they underwrite loans, they have a dedicated processing team that runs your file so that way you can purchase a home in order to get a mortgage, right? And the way that they get paid, typically, they get somewhat of a base salary to begin with, and then they get what we call BIPs. And BIPs are what we call basis points, meaning that there's 100 basis points in 1%, right? So the simple math is, and this will make sense here in a minute, so let's go ahead and go back through the actual lenders. So they get normally a base salary of some sort and a little bit of BIPs, right? Based off of the loan amount. Then you have brokers, which brokers have no money. They're kind of like what I always say, they're the concierge, right? You go to the Four Seasons and you want tickets to the opera or tickets to the ball game, you go to the concierge, say, hey, this is what I want, and they find that for you, right? And they basically make their money off of loan origination and basis points, but typically loan origination, depending on what it is that they're charging, right? And then you have direct lenders, which those are people like me. Again, we're very similar to the banks in the fact that we already have the money, right? We have all of our own in-house underwriting, all that nature, but I don't get paid a base salary. I'm only paid in the amount of basis points. What does that mean? So again, like earlier I said, basis points, there's 100 basis points in 1%. And then I get to actually choose how many basis points I want to make per loan. Now, you guys all know me, I've been preaching this message for a long time. I love to give back to my clients because, well, I'll be honest, I love math, I love what I do, and it's not rocket science to do what I do, so I don't pay myself a lot, I pay what I feel is comfortable. So typically, in our industry, most lenders can charge, or they will pay their originators up to 1.5 points or 150 basis points. What does that mean? Well, on a $500,000 loan, if an originator was making 150 basis points, right? So 1% would be $5,000, right? Add the other 0.5% in there, that's $2,500. So technically they'd be making about $7,500 per loan. I don't do that. In fact, I make 90 basis points. Basically, I make less than 1% based off of the loan amount. So to keep the math simple, if it was a $100,000 loan, the max that I would make would be $900. I could make more, but I don't because that amount that I could make, I like to pass back on to my veterans, which we share it in two potential ways. They can either use those monies to get a lower rate, or at the rate that they choose, those monies are used to help offset and cover their closing costs. So that's how I get paid, and that's the structure that I run. And again, I'm not greedy, I love what I do, and that's why I continue to help a lot of folks. I would love to think that people continue to work with me because, this amazing mug right here and my charming personality, but I know mainly it's because they know that, hey, I truly do believe in what I say, and I do give back to my clients. Because again, it's not rocket science what we do. I do love math, and the math is actually pretty easy, and I love explaining to people how that works. So yeah, if you're not using me as your lender, you know what? Ask your lender, hey, how much are you gonna make off of this deal? And make them show you. I'll be honest, it'll probably be an uncomfortable conversation for them because most lenders don't want to share that information, but you can ask me anytime. Hopefully that answered your question. Make it a great day, and we'll see you on the flip side.